It's another Wednesday, and you know what time it is. You know what that means? It means Falls Count Anywhere is live. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another great episode here of Falls Count Anywhere. I'm Edward Dunn, live from my home in Providence, Rhode Island. To my left is Erik Dunn, live from his home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. And this is episode 9. Oh, say, can you see? We got to start right there because we're both just driving back from Worcester, Massachusetts, as last night Erik Dunn gets a last second call to fill in as the anthem singer for the Woo Sox against Wilkes-Barre Scranton at Polar Park. And I'm not just going to say it because I'm his dad. I'm going to say it because it's true. He did an awesome job. He wowed the people there so much that one person even dropped the F word on him. That F word is Fenway. That's the F word we're talking about. They're looking at this as this could be a chance between any opportunity this year, probably not. Next year, perhaps 25, definitely. There's plenty of room for there. They could send this up to Boston and give him a chance to go out onto the biggest field in New England and put out the biggest performance of his lifetime. How you feeling right now, Erik?
Yes, sir. That's all I gotta say. Yes, sir. Um, yeah, that's definitely what I want to start off with first. Forgive me for reeling right now. I also just got back from Worcester. Um, but yeah, I mean, Dad pretty much summed up the whole thing. It was basically 15-hour notice. You know what I mean? This story began back in April when I thought that maybe this year could be the chance for me to reach out to somebody, and a man named George Loren ended up being the one that I could email. I sent him everything, gave him my Pod Sox performances from 19, the one from 18 too, and I gave him my background. I said, "Hey man, I'm looking for a chance to show who I am for you guys and see if you guys are willing to take a leap of faith and take a shot on someone like me." And a girl by the name of Mariana, who then emailed me back the month after in May saying they were booked up for the whole year. There was nothing available, and any cancellations, they will let me know. Now, it's happy right now, but in the very beginning, it was not. They tried booking me on a date that was the worst possible day. They tried to get me in for this Saturday, the 19th, because we are flying to Nashville on that day, and we'll actually be in Lexington, Kentucky for AEW's Collision, and we'll be breaking that down later on our broadcast here. But it was just really bad time, and I was just kicking myself in the butt, man. I'm just like, this can't be happening. It's like the one chance I get, I can't get it. But then I took a leap of faith while on my break at work last night, and I actually, knowing that they were playing at Polar last night, I actually called the park, and I actually was able to get in touch with Mariana's office, and she actually picked up. And we ended up having a 30-minute conversation of, could I have one more shot and could I have another chance? She was like, Wednesday, September 13th is like a 50-50 thing. And I talked to my colleague. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm happy there's a possibility, but to have something guaranteed I can do, like anything, like I'll take anything. I'm not, I wasn't desperate, but I'm just looking for a chance to be like outside the box, flexible. What's the word? Adventurous. There we go. She goes, well, if you say yes right now to this, it's yours. I said, okay, let me hear it. Tomorrow's game at 12:15, come for 11. I'm like, what now? I'm like, so 15 hours notice, you want me to come and bail all of you out because you had two cancellations? She's like, yep, I got my team on standby. I got all the preparations ready. If you say yes, then we're getting to work to prepare for your arrival tomorrow at Polar. And not and knowing that I may never get this shot this season, I said I would be an idiot to not say no, to say yes right now. So I said it, and I left my house at 9:15, left pole at 2:30, got back around 20, like 10:04, and now both Duns, who, by the way, this one surprised me too. Like I was supposed to be brought down to the field at 20 at noon. I turn the corner and I see my dad's face with the hat and the jersey, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. He actually made it. Drove up 146 over a 50-minute drive just to see his boy have another shot. And trust me, I honestly was planning on going up there alone, but it was happy to know I wasn't alone. I mean, it was arguably one of the best experiences for like last second things I've ever experienced. And it was true. The fact that the F word was dropped. I mean, that's a prestigious word in this industry. When you hear the word Fenway, what do you hear? A once in a lifetime opportunity. How many people can say that they got to sing in front of over 30,000 people for 2 minutes on the mound of Fenway Park? Like, that's the big goal. That's one of my big dreams to hit. And the fact that they were going to be able to contact them for me because they thought of how good I did, like, yeah, it was humbling. And and I was grateful, man, to have this chance. And that's actually why the title is Osei Can You See? And, for like an unexpected accident that ended up being like an unexpected triumph, you know, not bad for both Duns, 72 hours before our flight to Nashville. So, we're definitely very privileged and very grateful for that chance. And it was a good experience up there too. I mean, we were busting a lot of guts and having poking a lot of fun at some people. I definitely had some good laughs on this day, um, but that's then. As happy as I am, this is now. And um, my dad, Erik Dunn, is actually giving me the host for this week because I actually had to bug out early due to an obligation I have. Um, but I also want to take a quick moment to, on behalf of both Duns, to express our deepest condolences and our sincere prayers to Ron's sister, which was the reason why we could not broadcast 1 week ago, because Ron's sister had a really unfortunate accident that actually put her into surgery and had to get her stabilized to the point where she could actually be able to have that heartbeat and pulse still in her again. And it was a scary thing for us because Ron was pretty MIA for hours, and we were really getting concerned. And when Ron was telling us about what happened and his phone died, like that's the worst thing that could happen to you. If someone in your family has that happen to you and your phone's dead, there's nothing that you can do except just be there for him. And we want to send our prayers out to Ron and to his whole family. This is the same guy that lost his mom last month, so we have a lot of prayers coming his way for him. We have a lot of sympathy for him as the guy that helped us get False Count Anywhere on this channel, on this company. So we're very appreciative for Ron. We're grateful for Ron, and we're very sorry for what he's going through in his family right now. So I just wanted to make sure we get that out there, just so you guys know that we're not intentionally bailing out on you guys. It's just that when life happens, and we can't control it. But we're happy to have you guys here because next week we'll be in Nashville broadcasting this. And so that being said, Dad's ready, Ron's ready back there behind the scenes, and we're ready to dive in now. So yeah, hard to believe that almost 2 weeks ago we had SummerSlam, and SummerSlam was actually the most watched of all time. And it was the highest grossing of all time, but we mostly care about our predictions and how we did. And let's just say that there were some twists and turns there that might have just set up WWE for potential failure towards the end of this year, but but not total failures though. Um, yeah. So, Dad, I want to hear from you on this. I wasn't sure how much of it you watched. I watched the whole thing practically. Um, I want to hear like your thoughts on the recap of the event before we get our predictions in.
Well, I mean, the predictions talks about the event. The event dictates how it went. Um,
Yeah,
it was pretty much exactly how I forecasted it, minus maybe one little hiccup. I mean, WWE is getting too predictable
sure.
because if a guy like me can figure out practically everything that's going to happen in a pay per view then they're not writing enough creatively to give fans something to be cliffhangered about or something to be
Sure.
talking about, except, yeah, we kind of knew that was going to happen.
I
So
understand.
let's get right into the recap. Um,
Yeah.
bottom of the top, once again, Logan Paul defeated Ricochet. I
Yeah, I
called
got
that
that one wrong.
because he's too up and coming, and Ricochet's not high enough, but he's big enough to get Logan Paul over for another bout with somebody else. Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes, Brock Lesnar
yeah.
3. Brock Lesnar, I said, was getting the L like his last name, and I was right because he's
Yep,
running out of
Cody
gas,
won.
and he's been in the business for 2 decades plus. His time's running out, so that's the way that his final match probably happened. But we'll have to wait
Yeah,
and see if he comes back and challenges somebody else. The
true.
Slim Jim Battle Royal, L.A.
Hey,
Knight.
Nice. Yeah.
3 for 3 so far. He was the only talent that had a chance to win it because he came in the beginning, he ran it through to the end, and it really didn't have anything to do with anything except you won a Battle Royal. It was just something extra to throw a bunch
Right.
of people in that didn't get on the pay-per-view because they couldn't get a match.
Right, but that I'm
Um,
still trying to figure out why Austin Theory was not on the card to defend the United States title and why he didn't get a title shot. I think that's coming soon. It should be. The crowd's behind him, but everyone's saying that this company could make the mistake they made with Daniel Bryan 9 years ago. Don't want to think it, but they're getting close now. You can't keep stalling this forever. If LA Knight's going to keep getting this hotness and keep getting these pops and all this build, he needs to have at least a mid card title because he's a main eventer in that mid card from what I can see. But that was a very interesting one. But I got Ricochet wrong, unfortunately. I really thought he was going to win, but oh well. Cody won. I got that one right, and but unfortunately, it was like whoever won this, the other was going to lose badly, lose their push. But what shocked me was what Lesnar did at the end. We all thought he was going to F5 Cody and just walk out. He basically hugged the guy and thanked him. And we still don't know why he did what he did after WrestleMania. If you guys want to go back to the episode that we did on that, we already know why. But we have some ideas. But Lesnar turned face from that match. And as of right now, he's slated to come back for the Royal Rumble, for the road to WrestleMania for the one in Philly. Because his contract has required him to have a break. So, I guess you never really know how much you really miss somebody until they're gone for a certain amount of time. Kind of like Randy Orton in some ways too. Still no word on him. We thought he was going to come back. He didn't, and we're all still just waiting. You know. But yeah, so right now you're 3-0. I'm 1-1. Um, and then the next one we had down the line here was Baszler and Rousey.
mm-hmm.
I called Baszler on this one.
Yep.
So you got that one right. So you're 4-0.
Queen of Spades. There was talk of Rousey possibly leaving WWE, so she wasn't going to be able to win as the baddest woman in WWE. They gave that to Baszler. Theory, by the way, didn't defend his title because the card was too full, and they put him in the Battle Royal to hopefully win the Battle Royal, but he didn't. He got eliminated by Escobar, and LA Knight wins the Battle Royal, which apparently is the goal line for Theory's championship. But now it's in the hands of Rey Mysterio until they decide what to do next with him because of Escobar's injury.
Yeah, that was cool though.
The title this past week.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll obviously get more into Ray when we give the latest updates on what's going on. But yeah, so on that one I'm 2-1. You're 4-0. This one, unfortunately, I'm 2-2.
Gunther
Drew McIntyre could not get it. McIntyre could not get it.
The Ring General is too big.
Honestly,
right now.
That's not a good look. That's not a good look for Drew at this point.
Nope. He went after Gunther, and that's going to set him back to the mid card right now because now he needs someone new to battle, and they may keep this going a couple more times, but who knows? Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor.
Got that one right. Mm-hmm. 3-3-2.
There was Judgment Day presence. There
Yeah.
was distractions by Damian Priest, which cost Seth Rollins to be able to pick up the match and win it.
Yep.
I think actually Balor got correctly. Somebody threw it in the ring for Balor to use, and he didn't get to use it, and it got used on him. And that's how
Yeah,
Rollins
that's right.
picked up the win. So now there's tension in the Judgment
Yeah.
Day faction.
Yeah,
Bianca
interesting.
Belair defeated Charlotte Flair and Asuka.
I call Bianca on that one.
Yep. And then we both didn't predict that there'd be a women's cash-in right after that match.
Yeah.
So Io Sky was going to be out there with Bayley. Sure enough, she came in and took it from Bianca. But that's the second time in 2 title reigns that she's had it for less
Yeah.
than an hour. I'm really bent about this one because
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
the
lot of
second
people out
SummerSlam in
there
3
that thought
years.
the first time that happened with Becky Lynch, they were playing that they were saying that Bianca didn't deserve it. She calls herself the EST, but she does that for a reason. She's practically the Jade Cargill of WWE, and she did win the match. And then they made her lose it right after that. So that was the one that was sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths. So now they're looking for payback. They're looking for revenge. And you've got payback this coming month, and then you got Fastlane right after that. So there's plenty of opportunities for these cards to get filled up. And then finally, Roman Reigns defeats Jey Uso for the Universal title. We didn't predict Jimmy to come in and screw.
That is one sick bastard, man.
We did get it right that Jimmy was going to show up. I didn't think it was going to be for that reason, but
definitely not.
His interference did help Reigns pick up the win.
Yeah, and we'll be dissecting that in our update too, in our latest updates, because that's actually going to be surrounding Jay. You know, I mean, I still never understand that. Why would you make Jimmy turn heel? I don't get it. Like, what value do you see with both Usos facing off against each other at WrestleMania? Like, what value do you see with this? This bloodline crap needs to go away.
See, you're putting your eggs in the wrong basket, Eric. You got to do your homework before you come on the air. We're going to see Jey Uso before any McMahons see Jey Uso. He quit on SmackDown. His picture is now on the alumni page on WWE. His TV time is over. There are no brother wars coming back to each other. Jay has been held down too long by this, and the SummerSlam match proves that he's not going to be able to give him that title. He's not going to take it from Roman Reigns, and he wants to be a champion before he finishes his career. So there's only one place he can do that, and that's
AEW.
Because there are a few rumors out there and a few articles out there that are thinking that the way Jey Uso dropped it like that is he could be joining AEW, and we could be seeing tweets soon that he is all elite, because the only way you're going to get the faction of the pairing to break away is to do something so drastic that no one's going to expect them to be a tag team ever again. This was the way to do it. You had to turn Jimmy heel to give the fans a realization that the Usos are done. And Roman Reigns is in power, and he's going to stay there until somebody else can come up and take him away from the whole thing. And right now, there isn't anybody left to do it. And Jey Uso leaving, I'm putting it on record. He's not going to be on SmackDown. He's not going to be on Raw. I think he's going to be on AEW. And there's a lot of things in AEW that are not firm yet, including Saturday night's card.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited to talk about when we talk about AEW afterwards. But I'll turn it back over to you, Eric, for whatever WWE you have to go on. Update us away.
Yeah. To be honest, there isn't much. I'll make this quick for you guys. The updates I have for you is basically what Dan and I basically talked about. Jay has quit WWE, and his contract has officially expired. That has been confirmed. But some people think he's not going to go over to AEW. Some people think that it's going to be him and Jimmy at WrestleMania. I don't see that, because the truth is, Jimmy, the fact that he did that made Jay look weaker than him. And we all know Jay was next in line to be the tribal chief. We all knew this. Why do you think he was main event Jay Uso? Jimmy couldn't hold a candle to him because Jay had more talent than he did. And also, Jimmy got hurt more than him. So you look at the whole scenario and you think to yourself, well, why isn't Jay getting a better chance? Well, here's your chance. Either stay here or jump ship to AEW. We could potentially see him on Saturday. We don't know. Like, we don't know. He may jump over. Would that be cool? Sure, it would. But on the same token, though, I don't know how much high in AEW Jay can get. I really don't. I mean, he's been a trademark of this company for so many years. The crowd is getting behind Jay. That's the thing. The crowd is behind Jay. I don't think he's going to want to leave that crowd. I think they're going to put him on a hiatus until the Royal Rumble. Potentially. That's what I hope could happen, just to give him a better ending to his career. But on the contrary, Jay's not the only problem that this company's having. The other problem is who's next in line against Reigns. And is Reigns' reign close to its ending point? And that's the thing. That could be happening. Reigns is, according to reports, is actually hurt and will need surgery. How much longer could they run that to the table before all that happens? You know what I mean? And we don't know. But it looks to me, from what I'm seeing, that Junior might be joining us. So I'm gonna wrap up WWE. I'm just gonna wrap up WWE by just saying this before I bring him in. It's interesting with Payback coming that we have to be able to look at the problems that's in this company right now with too much predictability and trying to work all that out, because the whole thing is pretty much a mess right now. And on that note, that will wrap up our time with WWE. And Junior,
Hello,
he has
how are you?
officially joined us.
Yes, how are you? Sorry that I was late. But in parts unknown, it's sometimes hard to get Wi-Fi.
Mr. X Jr., great to have you here for another week. What do you got on the indie circuit for us to update the fan base?
Well, AWL, American Wrestling League, just did a show this Sunday. It was a fantastic show, one of the best they've done this year. Also, too, for those that haven't seen it already, go on to YouTube and check out XUC Pro Wrestling's From the Ashes. That was another great show. And also, too, don't forget, for anybody out there that has the dream of becoming a professional wrestler or referee, there's many schools out there today. No matter which part you live in of Mass or Rhode Island, especially out in Rhode Island, you've got SPW, Showcase Pro Wrestling. I myself, Mr. X, went there for a little while. Out in Fall River, Massachusetts, you've got Top Rope Promotions, another great school. It's one that I go to currently right now. Out in New Bedford, there's NRG, the New England Ring Gladiators, that also has a school. And then if you go out towards Western Mass, like Holyoke, Springfield area, there's BCW, Bay State Championship Wrestling. The promoters there, especially the one that I build a friendship with, Louis LeBloy. He's a very nice guy, very good promoter. So is the co-promoter, Eric Ross. They have a fantastic school. I've seen some of the stuff they posted online with their school. Same with NRG. It looks like it's a fantastic school. Never been to either one of them, but to the schools anyways. But again, just go there, check it out. Even if you live like around the Boston area and stuff, there's like Beyond Wrestling, another big promotion name that a lot of people know that also has their own school. Not exactly sure in which town it's in, but I know it's within the Boston area. And I've met a few wrestlers who have gone to their trainings or have checked it out, and they say Beyond Wrestling is another fantastic professional wrestling schools. So again, I mean, there's many schools around this area. There's even another one that I've heard about. I'm not sure again which part of Mass they're in, but it's called New England Wrestling Academy. So I mean, there's that one too. You know, again, just look them up. If they're within your facility or in your area, go there in person. That's what I would suggest: is go there in person, talk to the promoter, talk to the coach, to the trainer, and live out your dream of becoming a professional wrestler. And also too, don't forget to support the your indie wrestling, the independent circuit. These guys, they put their bodies on the line for little to no money at all. So I mean, any merch that you buy, whether if it's online from them or from what they used to call back in the day a gimmick table, now I think it's just called the merch table. It helps out a lot. Remember, these guys have a family. They need to feed their family, so buying their merch helps. It definitely helps. So I mean, that's about all I have on the indie circuit so far. I know that I've seen on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and all that. There's a lot of upcoming shows and stuff soon. Especially around here, you've got like I just said, you got Showcase Pro Wrestling that puts on good shows. NRG uploads a lot of good shows. Another one that puts on really good shows is a guy named Ted Goods with Live Pro Wrestling. I've been to a couple of theirs. Really excellent shows, top notch. I mean, they Live Pro Wrestling puts on really good shows. So does Top Rope and Showcase. They all put on really good shows. They all have upcoming shows. Just go on YouTube. Yeah, check out their YouTube channel. Definitely check out their YouTube channel for the content. And then follow them on Facebook, Twitter. Look them up, see when their next upcoming shows are and stuff, and make sure to go there, check it out, buy a ticket, and go to the merch table and buy some merch from one of the local wrestlers.
Yeah. X, tell me about your travel schedule. When can fans come out and see you on an indie show anytime soon?
Well, I don't have anything coming up quite yet, but I do have some things in the works. I mean, I've been making some appearances here and there at I did a toy and comic fair not too long ago with Tony. He actually got me the gig, and thank you again, Tony, very much. Even though he's not here with us, but I'm sure he'll be watching this later. Actually, I just did a match for AWL this past weekend on Sunday, so that will be out soon. Just got to keep an eye out for it. Just again, type in AWL or American Wrestling League on the Facebook and see when the episodes will be airing. Well, I say episodes because I think they might be doing like most of the promotions do around here, putting each match out as an episode. And who knows, they might actually put up the whole show too. I know like XUC does that. They put out each match and then they also put it out as a whole show so fans have can choose, hey, do I want to just watch this one specific match with my favorite wrestler or do I want to watch the whole show itself? And I think it's fantastic either way, But yeah, I mean, right now I don't really have anything coming up. But, please, check my Facebook, check my Twitter, especially Facebook. I'm on that more. Check that out. And, as soon as I have a definite on a show, please come visit me. I love meeting my fans. I mean, my fans are everything. Without the fans, there's nothing. There's none of, this show wouldn't exist. RID wouldn't exist. You guys wouldn't exist. I mean, none of us would exist without the fans. I mean, the fans are everything. The fans are what drive us to do what we do. Fans are always number one.
True. Oh, yeah.
So I just want to personally say thank you to all of our fans that have been listening to us every week.
Oh, yeah.
From False Count Anywhere.
And the fan base appreciates you as well, Mr. X Jr.
And I know it appreciates you guys and Tony Jones, and especially the guy behind all of this all.
Yes.
That puts this all out for us, Ron.
Yep. We're going to thank Ron, and he's going to take us to break right now. And at this time, we're going to bid farewell to Mr. X Jr. Thank you very much for your time coming in to be a part of things.
Yes, thank you.
And also when we do come back from our break on the other side, I'll also be giving my farewell to all of you as well. And so when we do come back, Dad will be giving the full reign for the remainder of our broadcast to help close this out regarding some information regarding AEW's Collision, maybe some information on Dynamite as well as Rampage. And we'll also even look ahead through him to our trip to Nashville and Lexington, which also will include with our trips to AEW and also what we will be preparing for next week's broadcast when we officially land in Nashville. And this will all be coming at you when we return after this with a word from Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island and our RIB stations. You're listening and watching the Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network.
If you're looking for an entertainment company to help you with your event of any kind, feel free to check out Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island. Providence-based company serving all of New England, providing you entertainment needs in the areas of sound, lighting, photo booth, photography, videography, drone videography, monograms, slideshows, and of course, DJ sound. As a special bonus, we also have wedding officiant services through Road to Love Wedding Services in conjunction with Lighthouse Productions to provide you all of your wedding needs. Don't need a wedding? Fantastic. You need music or a reason to have entertainment for a party of any kind? We can handle all budgets and all sizes and all different types of venues. With COVID, there's a 100% money back guarantee for any type of cancellation and rescheduling needs. Check us out at lighthouseproductionsri.com. Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island, your entertainment source for all of New England. And
welcome back. Yes.
That was a quick commercial break.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes. So, folks, welcome back to Falls Count Anywhere. And yes, my dad's in charge of hosting responsibilities this week because I have an obligation that I need to be leaving for in just a few minutes shortly here. So I'm going to give you guys my send off and officially my goodbye. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You couldn't give me back the reins to throw us the break. You had to hog the spotlight just because you want to be. Dad's going to be hosting things today, but I'm going to host the commercial and take us out of commercial break. But that's okay. You sang the anthem today. You get a pass.
Oh, whatever. You know, honestly, I still haven't gotten you back yet for when we did my birthday 2 weeks ago, and you're like, baby pictures. I still haven't gotten you back for that crap yet. Yeah. Yeah, don't even try that now, I swear. I already... Oh, hang on. We got a comment here. Oh, say, Edward, can you see? 4 eyes. yeah, I'm going to say wear glasses,
now.
whatever.
The rain has gone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no kidding, you know? Oh, yeah, that was the biggest thing we had to worry about, too, was this. There was actually the possibility of a 1-hour rain delay, and we thought there was going to be a rain delay. I at least thought. But then when they took the tarp off, I'm like, thank God. You know, honestly, a little mist doesn't hurt people. So, but seriously, we'll also keep you guys updated personally on where we stand with Two Nuns on the Ice once we get some updates there, and also, yeah, they were hard to hear you saying no, they're in a hurry for me to go for once. So I'm gonna be going in a minute, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to take the chance to thank all of you guys, the fans of this program, and you know, for those that are interested and wanting to just keep on joining us for this ride here, every Wednesday at 5, we are here. Facebook has been our biggest accomplishment regarding our platforms, but also available on YouTube and Twitter as well. Um, and also, what you guys know too, that I'm Done with Sports is still active every Wednesday night at 6. Ply It Up every Wednesday night around 8, and available Thursday mornings on 990wbob.com. Unfortunately, for wrestling, there was too much to put in, so I couldn't really bring it all into there. I had to come here, but it's nice for us that we get to have an outlet for when we can't bring up wrestling when we really want to. This is just our new home for it. And so, with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to pass it over here to my dad for him to carry this out and take it out. Thank you guys so much. And, myself and him, I'll see you guys down in Nashville. But, for now, Erik Dunn has to exit stage right.
Thanks for joining us, Erik. We will see you back here next film. 2 3 days, and yeehaw! Get ready.
Oh yeah.
Birthday present of your lifetime coming.
Honestly, let's hope so. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Quickly to run back, Ed's and good morning. We appreciate all the comments. Get a hold of us here at any of the platforms for the show to ask us your questions, whether it be wrestling or something else. If we can answer it, we will take care of it for you. Right now, we've been talking about AEW. It's time to talk about first the results from Saturday night's Collision from August 12th. What a great night that was. For those of you that didn't get the turn in, it did take place in the historic Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. An absolute Ricky Starks. What is up with this guy? He gets into a match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as the referee, and he attacks him because he lost. You can't attack a legend like that without consequences. So what do? They gave him a month off from wrestling. He spent 30 days from AEW attack. But live with Sonny said, you're going to have to do harder than that to get rid of me because he went and got a manager's license. So now he's going to be able to be on each and every week of Collision until his 30 days are up. But he can't wrestle. But he's going to be involved in a lot of controversy, especially focusing around CM Punk. He wants a chance with CM Punk to be the real champion. He wants to win his belt. And now we know we have at least a month to wait for that match to happen because they have storyline already with Samoa Joe and CM Punk. So Ricky Starks is taking up too much airtime on the line. So they give him a suspension. He'll jump in a few episodes here and there. And we'll see what happens to him as he goes through the next couple of weeks on the AEW programming. The Acclaimed, that was a quick match. They took care quickly. Still no word on Daddy Ass. The boots are still coming every week with them. And the chance of thank you, Billy, and the thanks for Billy Gunn for all of his work in wrestling. We hope he shows up again, but we're just not sure after that last match he had with the House of Black. Leader of the House of Black walked right up to him in the ring, whispered in his ear, made him take his boots off, and he should be seen since. So we'll see what happens after that. TBS champion Chris Stanton, ironically, Martinez got the win with some outside interference, and they a couple cheating moves happen, which is going to set up some more action for this coming week, probably with some singles action, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Ring of Honor World Champion Samoa Joe took on a newcomer, Andrew Everett. He tried really hard. It wasn't going to let him. He then grabbed the microphone and wanted a chance to be at CM Punk again, as we talked about earlier. The storyline is they both have a championship. He wants to be the real champion. He doesn't think CM Punk should be champion anymore with the fake belt, he's calling it. But he threatened CM Punk, give me what I want, I'll convince you. We'll talk about that. Christian Cage came out. Christian Cage has this thing where he thinks he's the champion, carrying the belt around. even though Luchasaurus is the wrestler that does all the work. I think there's some storyline here at some point that this alliance is going to end and Christian Cage is going to get turned on by Luchasaurus, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But right now, Darby Allin is really in the business with Christian Cage because of all the things he's done to him over the past few weeks. So he threatened and said, you know what, you're a fighting champion? Next week, Collision. You and me, what do you say? And Christian Cage said, you're on. But we know what's going to happen. Luchasaurus is going to wrestle instead of Christian Cage because that's just how it's going to be. And we'll have to see what happens. But I could be wrong, and I hope I am because I'd love to see Christian get back in the ring because him and Edge were a fantastic team for so many years. But Edge is done. Christian's time might just be managing. So yes, the main event, House of CMFTR. What an interesting acronym this is. CM Punk joins the World Tag Team Champions FTR, and they become called CMFTR. So this could be a trio that could be, but then that's too much gold for Punk to carry around. So we got to see if he's going to lose one of those titles. The they could be double champions. It's an interesting dissection, but to wait and see what happens. House of Black ended up eventually coming down for a win, and that ended the show. A sour taste for the fans, but you know what? That's Tony Khan being smart because it's not always what the fans want. It's what the fans get. And sometimes the fans don't always get what they want, but what they get is a great product every time out. So now it's Collision night tonight and Saturday. We've got Dynamite on Wednesday night. And sure enough, here's the card. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus the Bunny for the 5th and qualifying spot for the All-In. That's going to go to the doctor just as quickly as I said it. Young Bucks, Guns, taking on each other in a tag team match. This will be interesting. This will be a great view for to see what after they plan for the match for Wembley Stadium. But the most of Tony Khan is the entertainment value. It's not who wins or loses. It's how you write the storyline that makes this so interesting. That's why WWE is so predictable. It's not, because you never know what's going to happen. You can guess it, but you're not going to be right as much as you want to. Texas match. Are you kidding me? Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy. First time ever in AEW. A Chainsaw Massacre death match. The rules for this is simple. There are none. Whoever's left standing wins the match. That's pretty much what it comes down to. It's just like out of the video game. It's a crazy match. Expect carnage, expect blood, expect all of that to happen. Champion and challenger. What's going to happen with MJF and Adam Cole? They were a little bit of a pulling since they lost their tag team title match. Are they going to stay as a team? We're not sure. But there is that third, and that is Roderick Strong. And he's sitting back wondering what's going to happen next, because you have to see coming up, Cole and MJF will be in Wembley Stadium for All In on August 27th, fighting each other for that prestigious Triple B championship that MJF holds. So between now and then, there's going to have to be a little more of that dissension, and they may be running this tag team title as far as they can and think that they've probably hit a new Vaughn, hit a new place for it to veer off to the side. But they are bro weeks. We're going to find out. Kenny Omega will sit down with Jim Ross to talk about his Takashita and what he'll be doing at AEW All In. Tune in to find out what happens with Kenny Omega. That will be interesting. Chris Jericho and Don Callis. What is happening here? Well, last week we saw the JAS confronted their leader, Chris Jericho, and said, unless you can give me 100% of what we give to you, we can't. Fizzling out as fast as you could talk about it. Jericho's left wondering who's going to be here at the end, what's going to happen to all of these. He might align himself with Don Callis for one more run, trying to get back to legendary status for himself wrestling, because right now he's kind of mid-cardish and he needs to get more main event. He's got to get more away from that inner circle and get away from these other guys and really make that heel turn strong with Don Callis if he wants to get something different. We'll have to see where that goes. Callis is now with the Blackpool Combat Club. That could be an interesting place for Jericho to end up, but he just doesn't seem like the Moxley, Claudio type. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. What will happen with Samoa Joe and CM Punk? Well, he's going to get a World Championship warm-up match with a jobber this week because they're getting ready for the big one that comes up this week and next week. So they're going to have a couple tune-up matches each. There'll be nothing big happening because they got to make sure they're healthy for the big one all in. But tonight's Dynamite is going to talk about this coming collision for next week. We've got 2 matches set up, and that's it. The card only has 2 matches right now. Why? It's Christian Cage and Darby Allin. It's Willow Nightingale versus Diamante. So what they're saying is that they're going to have that match in Lexington. We're going to Nashville next week, but we're going to Lexington to see this card. We know Christian Cage and Darby Allin will fight. Willow Nightingale and Diamante, as we said, from that doubles match, they're now going to have some singles matches from that one, but there's nothing else on the card yet, which means a lot of things that will happen on tonight's episode of Dynamite, possibly Rampage, could dictate what. I wished I had more to talk about knowing what this card's going to be, but that's all they publicize right now. They're keeping it tight-lipped. They're keeping it close because they're really not sure how they're going to write these storylines leading up to All In. They need something juicy to get through this following week. And right now, AEW is kind of wondering, what do we do with all this stuff? We can't just put out people fighting jobbers every week. That's not going to work for the fans. So I think tonight's episode of Dynamite is going to really kick up something that's going to happen this coming week on. Following week, we will be live in for our next broadcast. And we have a great show lined up coming up for next week. We might have a little performance by our co-host. We'll see if we can get him to give us a little guitar while he's down there, maybe a little song and dance while we'll be together in separate places, but we'll both be in. We're going to Lexington, Kentucky for our AEW show. It's his birthday from August 2nd. This is his present. I'm taking him to Nashville, seeing the country music spot. Give away the surprise of what we're doing yet because he'll watch this later. Realize he's going to get next week. Can't say a word, but he does know this. The Patriots are in town next week as well in Nashville. We don't that game as part of his birthday. But there's one more thing we'll talk about 2 weeks from today when we come back from Nashville that'll be wowing for him and surprising to everybody because a lot of people expect it but aren't realizing it's going to happen. So I'm getting ready to wrap things up on this end. We've covered all the things we want to do for AEW. We've covered everything for WWE that we want to talk about. Again, if you want to come into the show and let us know, come into the channel, put a chat message up there. You can be anonymous. You can share your information. We'll be happy to give you a shout out and thank you for being a part of today's broadcast. We want to make sure that you as the fans understand we talk wrestling every week. If there's something else that needs to get on the docket, breaking news, something big in sports, something big in life, what's happening, obviously there's major things going on in Hawaii now. Problems out there. There are things happening all around the world. But we try to bring a little entertainment. We try to bring a little light to the subject of wrestling. We try to have some good-hearted fun because sometimes you just need a distraction. We're getting ready for a trip to Nashville in 48 hours. And we still take time to do this show because it's important to us to get together as we are remotely still before we get together in person and go away for a week. Adopted members of the family, Tony Jones, Mr. X Jr., of a special. We're happy to have had you here. Ron, let's start the music. Let's take us out of here because I've got a trip to pack for and, well, I got to get ready for Dynamite because it's coming on in 2.5 hours and we got to rock and roll out of here. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on X, which is the new Twitter, apparently. And now it's our new platform, Kick. We're hoping we get the viewership. We're hoping we get people to put things together. And we are grateful to have had you join us today. On behalf of the man behind the scenes, Ron Rigo, Tony Jones, Mr. X Jr., Erik Dunn, and myself, Edward Dunn, thank you so much for being a part of Falls Count Anywhere episode. Check out Dynamite tonight. Check out and Raw, Collision, NXT, of course, the indie shows. Keep your eyes. You never know when you're going to show up. For all of you, thanks so much. We'll see you next week in Nashville. And as Erik says, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Take care, everybody.